Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 399. My name is Adam Patterson. With me today, I've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hi.
This week on the show, we will be taking a look at this year's Slamdance Film Festival, which just ended. We got 3 reviews lined up for you. We got A Black Rift Begins to Yawn, got Taipei Suicide Story, and we have The Sleeping Negro. We'll also be going over some we're watching on the watch list and going over this week's new releases on Beauty and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us. This week, please remember to review us on iTunes if you get a moment. That'd be very helpful. We're still trying to coordinate with Ryan. He got his second COVID shot this week and didn't want to record.
Well, I mean, I have read, a number of people being laid up for the day. Like you get a fever or, not everyone does, but some people do.
Yeah, apparently
maybe he just
he was prepping.
He just stays home. He's like, I'm just clearing the day. I'm just going to sit still. Just soak it in.
Yeah. Let those.
I would probably do the same thing too. And
all right, let's jump into some Slamdance. Now, Slamdance was virtual this year, so anybody could see all of the Slamdance movies. Their format was really good compared to some of the other virtual.
Oh yeah,
some of the other virtual ones. Like this one was so easy in comparison to a lot of the other ones.
$10, everything.
Yeah,
and it is so easy to navigate. It's just movies. They're just there. You can just look, pick one. No issues whatsoever. It was perfect.
Yeah, it seemed like they used Vimeo as their underlying video player. So there obviously were no issues there. It's funny, like when Sundance did their virtual thing, I was pretty excited because it looked like the platform was going to be really organized and easy, but it turned out to be a very cumbersome process to see these movies, especially for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
I don't think you talked about that on air, but Kevin had a lot of issues with the Sundance stuff.
Fuck them, those pieces of shit.
Oh god. But yeah, Slamdance was really easy, and I mean you can't beat that price, $10 for a pass. I mean that's a really good deal. Yeah. So props to them for putting together a really solid virtual festival. And it was long too, so they South by Southwest is coming up, and I'm fortunate in that I have a bit of early access to the movies, but the film festival's it's 4 days or something, so you got to cram so much in such a little amount of time.
Yeah.
And Sundance felt like it was that way too, where it just didn't feel like there was enough time. But with Slamdance, they gave you tons of time to watch whatever you wanted. It was just, I don't know, I liked it.
Same here.
So good job, Slamdance. Keep up the good work. I will continue supporting your endeavors, even if sometimes I feel like the lineups aren't great. Let's talk about what we saw there. I think we'll begin with A Black Rift Begins to Yawn. This is the latest from director Matthew Wade. This was, I can't remember the program that this was screening in. It was not the main slate because with Slamdance,
I forget what it's called.
If it was called, not Spotlight, but it was the equivalent of that program.
I want to say Breakouts.
Yeah, that could be it. So that program is for directors who have a previously released feature, at least one previously released feature. If you're familiar, the way that Slamdance works is that there's a budget limit for the films that screen there, and any films in the main slate have to be debuts for the director. So this is screening as part of that other program. I have a synopsis here Two women work on a mysterious project that distorts their memories of time, place, and identity. Kevin, we'll start it with you because I don't really have much to say about this. What did you think of A Black Rift Begins to Yawn?
I was really excited for this. This was on my most anticipated from the beginning of the year on that episode. Because I was a pretty big fan of How the Sky Will Melt. It's just some nonchalant mindfuckery going on in that movie. And this seemed really promising. A lot of potential. Really like the idea behind it. And I know I say this a lot, but this is a tough one because visually, I enjoyed a lot of this movie. All right. And essentially, it's just Matthew Wade kind of like zeroing in on the cosmic horror of H.P. Lovecraft, and just not like the creatures or anything, but just kind of like the psychological angle of it. And like visually, it's great. It's got this pink purple haze fog going on that's like imbued in like every frame. There was a lot of nice work in terms of kind of like the images dissolving into each other, kind of like highlighting this loss of identity for these women. The images bleeding and everything. There's some great nature shots, just really incredible stuff. But like the story, like the narrative, there's not really anything going on. And for me specifically, because I have a really difficult time with this kind of thing, is so much of this is when characters are talking, like they're just reading research notes, really. Like that's about it. And just that kind of like mundane dictation, like I can't handle it, especially if there's not subtitles. Like it's just sounds to me. Like it just completely in one ear and right out the other. Like it just doesn't stick at all.
I am in 100% agreement with you. I've watched this like, I don't know, it was more than a week ago now, and I'm just really struggling to remember anything that happens in it. Like, I don't think anything. I'm not sure. Like, I remember people standing around. I remember the note reading, but I just really... It was just such a struggle for me to remain engaged with this, even though I completely agree with you also that it's, on a visual level, it's right up my alley. I mean, this is like... exactly a style that I'm really into. It was such a struggle for me to pay attention and like just figure out what was going on, because so little happened. Lots of just people standing around doing nothing. Like there's just like 3-minute shots of just people standing on a porch. Mm-hmm. Just standing there.
Yes.
And it's just like, man, I feel like movies like this that it just is so challenging to an audience. And I just I just really struggled with it. I love the poster, by the way. I want to point that out. That the poster is also really incredible.
Which he drew. So you have, like, he's the director, he's the writer, he's the editor, he's the composer. I think he even did, like, the color grade in the movie. Like, he does, and he did the poster. And, like, there's a part of me that really appreciates this attempt at, like, trying to capture, like, the psychological terror of, like, Lovecraft instead of, going the typical route of, like, the creatures and everything. But I just kept waiting for more, and... there was like hints of it, like something was developing and something was going to occur at some point. Especially the way that it's kind of broken up into, I think it was like three parts, mm-hmm. 3 chapters.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, the Black Rift, it's starting. Now we're gonna have something. Something's going to happen. But again, the dialogue that you do get here is just mere dictation, which again is on a personal level, just like I can't handle. Like I can't do it.
I just couldn't get into it, man. Like at the end of the day, it wasn't it wasn't for me, even though I loved the soundtrack. The score was incredible. Loved the visuals. Loved that kind of hazy purple look. But there's just nothing there. There's just nothing for me to hold on to. And I just, it's like there's like hints in here of something that could be really great. I think that if Matthew Wade has a solid script that has more substance to it, I think that he can adapt his visual style to something that's like really incredible. But this ain't it.
No. It hints to that potential throughout, but it just never, it's never elevated up to that level.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and give this a score. This is a really tough one for me because...
Yeah, because you always want to score it separately. Like,
yeah.
Visually, and all those filmmaking aspects, and then rate it like narrative-wise.
Oh, jeez. I don't even... This is so hard for me because I feel bad. I really do, because I think that he's a really talented guy.
But the thing that makes it even worse is, the thing that makes it difficult is, like, you want more movies like this. Maybe not exactly like this, but, at least that creativity and that, like, it has a completely different look to it than, the whole atmosphere of this movie is completely different than what you normally see, which I want more of.
It's a 2 for me.
A 2-fer. I'm gonna go like a 4.5.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, yeah, it's visually pleasing. It's got a great soundtrack, all of that. But also, I didn't find the performances to be very compelling either. I thought that the performances were a bit lackluster. They were pretty weak, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have much to do anyways.
No. All right. So that's The Black Rift Begins to Yawn. Something tells me we'll see that pop up on like No Budge at some point. Let's move on and talk about Taipei Suicide Story. This is directed by Kef. Is that correct?
Yes.
The director
Kef.
just goes by Kef?
Kef.
All right. Okay. Well, all right. I have a synopsis here. A receptionist at a suicide hotel in Taipei forms a fleeting friendship over the course of one night with a guest who can't decide if she wants to live or die. I meant to look this up before we talked about it, but is that that surely cannot be a real thing, right?
I don't know. It's presented as such in here, where it's like, this is just, it's normal. Like, it has its whole backstory too, of like people camping out and protesting and then people losing interest. But yeah, I don't know if that's a real thing or not.
I have to look at this.
I don't want to know.
I don't believe that it is a real thing. But see, to me, that makes this movie, it kind of elevates it a little bit more for me. The fact that this takes place in a world where these suicide hotels exist. So in this film, you have a hotel. The movie takes place largely inside this hotel that's specifically designed for people to go and kill themselves. And the hotel, like, will accommodate you if you want something specific, i.e. razor blades, and they'll be sent up to you. And they have like a dedicated cleaning crew that comes in and takes care of, the aftermath. And as the synopsis says, it's about this, this receptionist who ends up forming a slight bond with this young woman who is a guest at the hotel. And I thought that this movie was great. It's only 45 minutes long, so I really question how it ended up in the narrative feature category. Like, I don't really... I think that
I'm so happy for this, though, because I want there to be a more robust mid-length feature
I don't know if I would even call this a feature. Like, it's 45 minutes. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. People got shit to do. Great.
Yeah, but
and the best part
fun.
about this is there's like, in terms of this film, it's done in a very efficient manner. There's no fat to it. It's nice and lean. You get in, you get like to me, I'm not thinking, this is perfectly developed. I'm not thinking like if you add more to this, then I'm like, oh, okay, now you're just padding the runtime to force this into a feature. Let's open that up. Let's make that more of a natural, normal thing. Let's normalize that. But in order to get the film in, let's have a nice 45, crisp, brisk. Let's get to the point. Let's get it done. Let's move on with it. It's perfect. I love it.
I'm not complaining about the runtime. I'm just questioning whether or not it should be considered a feature or short film.
See, this is people like you. This is who we're fighting against.
Mm-hmm. So you don't. So really, you're saying that there shouldn't be even any distinction between the two. It should just be film should be film and not categorized based on time.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, I agree with you that if this movie was a short film, A, I wouldn't see it. And B, a lot of other people wouldn't see it, because when you have short film programs and film festivals, there's like 150 of them. And they very, very often, play second fiddle to feature-length films. And I do think that's a shame.
And the thing that's kind of a bummer about that, playing second fiddle, is the majority of the time the features are not good at a lot of festivals. Like, the features are they're not good, and a lot of them are like, looking at like Sundance and stuff like that, where it's like you just have these. How many times have we lobbed that criticism at a feature where it's like, this could have been a short film? It's just
right.
It's just drawn out.
Yeah. Well, talking about this movie, I agree with you that it's brisk, it's lean, it gets in, it gets out, it does its thing, but it also and it also feels complete. Like, it has a very defined beginning, middle, and end, and it does exactly what it sets out to do, and it tells this really kind of thought-provoking, touching story that I was just immediately enthralled by this movie. And for me, this is the top pick of Slamdance in what I saw, at least. I didn't see everything, but this was by far my top pick.
Well, Slamdance agree with you, because I think this pretty much won like all the awards.
I didn't even I meant to look at the winners, but I didn't even get a chance to look at the winners.
It won Best Feature. I think Tender Pong, the guy that plays the receptionist, I think he won for acting.
It's so good. I think really everything about this movie is just firing on all cylinders for me, and I loved it. I loved the cinematography, the premise alone, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like you could make a longer movie out of this concept of like a suicide. You could even make a TV series out of it, and there's a lot of material here that I think you could explore with this concept.
Yeah. I think the best thing for it is a 45-minute long mid-length feature. I think that's how it works best. But I do enjoy the surface level of this. I think is great. Like, the world building, the fact that me and you are both like, is this an actual thing in Taipei? Like, just like an effortless world building here, where it's kind of futuristic, but not in the typical sense. Really appreciated this kind of like this subtext to it, where like in the beginning, when he first encounters her and kind of like chastise her, you have to make a decision, this and that, and then he kind of apologizes for his selfishness a little bit later on, and then how that selfishness essentially follows the whole way through until the end, and it seems to be more about that is his selfishness in terms of what's going on here and his decision making. I thought this was really really great, really a contemplative little mid feature length. And like you, I was sold right off the bat. Like I was just into it, like right off the bat. As soon as it kind of set up everything, I was in.
Yeah, really strong for me.
Which is this? This is the difficult thing though, because what's the market for a 45-minute
right?
film?
Yeah, like where's this gonna show up? You know, maybe Mubi.
Yeah,
like Mubi seems like a good place for this. Maybe so, like one of these newer services like Kino Now or something could put it out, but
that's the beautiful thing too. Now with everything, there's so many different streaming services. Everyone's really relying upon streaming services. Like these are perfect for streaming services.
Oh yeah. Definitely won't end up in theaters. It's way too short to be in theaters unless it's lumped with something else.
Yeah.
All right, that's Taipei love story. Well, it is in a way. Taipei Suicide Story. For me, this is like I'm like an 8.5, 9.
Yeah,
probably 9 for me on this one.
Oh, look at you, 45 minutes, and see, you would have never watched. If I told you, hey, it's a short film, 45 minutes long, you would have been like, nope, not even right. And I'm not even going to remember the name of this.
I mean, I watch a decent number of short films throughout the year, but I agree that they don't take priority for me, and they should. I remember there was one year where I was like, I'm going to watch more short films this year, and then I just never did.
I just never did it.
I mean, I try to champion short films on the website. I mean, we did a whole virtual film festival like several years ago and had a lot of short films on there. So I think of myself as a champion of short film, just maybe not on the same level as you.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about. Oh, did you give a score?
Same as you. Okay. I'd say 8.5, 9.
Let's talk about our last feature that was at Slamdance, The Sleeping Negro. This is directed by Skinner Myers. I have a synopsis here. Confronted with a series of racially charged incidents, a young black man must overcome rage, alienation, and hopelessness in order to find his own humanity. This is one that I actually liked quite a bit as well. I had a few issues with it. This is also pretty short. It's only 73 minutes, which, again, I think that this was a good runtime. This is one where I feel like if it was much longer, it might start losing me. But it was to the point. I feel like also maybe this is one where they didn't quite know how to end it. But overall, I enjoyed The Sleeping Negro. I don't know. I feel like this is one of these movies where I'm not the right person to review or discuss a movie like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, the thing that I will say, because, yeah, it is the difficult thing we aren't the right people. But in terms of, like, filmmaking, for me, this is a movie that's, like, really exciting to me in terms of a debut, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of experimentation with the visuals, a lot of playfulness with the visuals, given, the pretty serious subject matter. Just a lot of stuff going on. Just trying, like, and that's what it seems like here with Skinner Myers is like he's just trying a whole bunch of different things,
throwing it all at the walls, just seeing what sticks.
And most of it sticks for me. Most of it works. It was very engaging. It was highly entertaining, and it kind of kept you on your toes with the way that he kind of maintains a level of interest by incorporating these new things. And like, because at a certain point you're just like, you know what? I feel like anything's possible. Like it could just be a simple voiceover, but It also could be coupled with an homage to Tarkovsky that doesn't really make sense. Like, you don't really need to do that, but it works. And there's just a lot of stuff like that, whereas, like, you know what, the experimentation, who knows what's coming around the corner.
Yeah, I love the 16 millimeter. First of all, any movie that's shot on 16 millimeter gets instant bonus points for me. I liked all the visual flourishes. I loved the visual of him, sleeping and like kind of suspended in the air. That every time that they would go back to that shot, I was loving it. And I just think that Skinner Myers is an incredibly talented individual who can't sleep on this guy. Like this guy he's going places, no doubt about it. I mean, the fact that he wrote, directed, stars in this movie, probably did other aspects of it that I don't have in front of me, but like, the dude is extremely talented, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And I think that this is a really strong feature debut from him.
Really good starting point.
Yeah.
Really good starting point.
I think that the subject matter is very challenging, and I think that the subject matter does lend itself to discussion and perhaps a really deep conversation. I just think coming from a white man that has had a lot of privilege in his life, I just don't think that I'm the right person to have that kind of conversation, at least not without having the right kind of representation in the conversation,
especially when that conversation is in concert with another man with pretty much the same exact background as you.
Yeah. But I would say that there probably are videos up, I would guess, about this movie already, and if not, maybe some articles written. Maybe there's some reviewers that wrote it that are people of color who would be better sources to discuss what is explored in this movie. I don't think that it would be correct for us to get into it.
Yeah. But from the filmmaking standpoint, very exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's give this one a score. What are you going to give The Sleeping Negro out of 10?
I'm going to give it an 8.
I'm going to give it I'm at like a 7.5, 8 on this one as well. I'll say 7.5. This feels like, to me, this movie feels like an oscilloscope. I could see a oscilloscope picking this one up.
I like this as our new thing.
I like it too.
I see this as more of a ray.
I can see a ray, yeah. I think that the only thing that makes me hesitate on a ray is it's a little bit more abrasive. Like, it's a little bit more experimental, and it's a little bit more adult.
I see this as kind of like an extension of them picking up Residue, which was also a Slamdance. I feel, because this movie felt kind of like the kind of capturing that time period, like the USC filmmaking from the 70s with Jamia.
We'll see. It's definitely going to get picked up, though. 100%. It will get picked up.
LA Rebellion film movement is what I was trying to think of.
Yes.
Kind of reminded me of that.
Let's go through and do a quick watch list section. I only have a couple things that I can mention. More like warnings than anything, I would say.
All right. Interesting.
Tom and Jerry. This is directed by Tim Story. It came out this weekend on HBO Max. So it's one of the Warner Brothers ones. Avoid this. I gave this a look because I like the classic Tom and Jerry cartoons. I grew up with Tom and Jerry. Still to this day find a lot of enjoyment out of the old cartoons. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna keep an open mind. this is not a movie that I probably would go see in theaters, but since it's on HBO Max, I was like, yeah, why not? Why the hell not? It's so bad. It's to me, this was like a complete nightmare of a movie. I had such a hard time staying interested in this because it was just so boring to me. Like, I just could not get into it, and it was so cringy. Everything that happens in this movie is just like lame pop culture references, and the soundtrack was comprised of like these pop songs that are not going to be relevant in a year's time, and a lot of the music didn't go with what was happening in the scene. And it's funny because like the movie starts off with them playing Can I Kick It? Tribe Called Quest, and I was like, oh man, we're gonna have, okay, that's an interesting choice. Tom and Jerry movie, Tribe Called Quest. But I'm kind of down for it. And then they play a couple other like old school hip hop songs, and I'm like, okay, but they still don't really match what's going on. And I don't know, man, it's just really rough, and I had a really hard time with it. Even for a kids movie, I just think that it's not enjoyable. I did like the animation. I think it's CG, but they kind of make it look like 2D, Roger Rabbit style.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple scenes that I thought looked really good. There's a scene where Tom is trying to get into the hotel and it's raining outside, and like his fur is all like wet, but he still looks like he's sort of like 2D, like hand drawn animated, and that effect looks really good. So there's like and there's some funny hijinks to be had, but overall, I just can't recommend Tom and Jerry. Also, Jerry is such an a-hole in this movie. Like, Jerry's just a straight up prick in this movie.
No redeeming qualities.
No. It's just bad. It's bad.
All right. Well, I got some short films from Slamdance. So I did cram in a bunch of short films. So I'm gonna the highlights.
Yeah. Give me some rapid fire.
Rumi and His Roses. This is by Navid Senaki. It's short, 6 minutes. It's a really unique story, though. So this is a gay Iranian man recounting his first relationship and the love letters from that relationship. Now, the love letters that he got from his lover, like, secreted away in DVD menus. So his lover would make, bootleg DVDs, and he would make these like bespoke DVD menus for these movies or TV shows. They might be Seinfeld, it might be a classic Hollywood movie, it could be any number of things. Within the DVD menu would be like his love letters to him. So it's just this guy going through, and you get to see the DVD menus and him like navigating them and everything, and like all the little secret like hidden meetings and stuff that are tucked away in the DVD menus. It's really interesting. And it's great. Like, the DVD menus are like 1995 style, like very early DVD menus. Just incredible stuff. Another one is Opera, directed by Eric O. This is an animated short film, about 8 minutes. This is just like, on a technical level, this is just incredible because it's a massive pyramid, right? That essentially is kind of showcasing like the entire history of mankind and all of its different aspects, death, birth, education, all this stuff, farming, whatever it is. So it starts off at the top of the pyramid and slowly pans out, and as it's pulling out, it's going down the pyramid to the very, very base, top to bottom. And the entire time that it's doing this, all of it is animated, and everything is happening constantly. So it's just a constant stream of animation, and it's incredible. Like, I don't know how the hell he pulled it off, because it goes the whole way down to the bottom, and of course there's war at the end, and that kind of, well, not at the end, it's kind of like the midpoint, and then it goes back up the pyramid as like the mankind goes through like a renewal process.
Oh, this sounds really fascinating.
It's fucking insane. Another animated short, 7 minutes long, A Family That Steals Dogs by John C. Kelly. This was a big one for me. I thought this was pretty much incredible. Number one, the art style is really up my alley. So it's him kind of recounting stories about his family. It was, he's going home for a funeral, and his brother and his sister steal a dog, and that kind of makes him come to this realization that, like, his family had a shit ton of dogs growing up, and like he's just starting to wonder, like, did his family just steal dogs? Is that like what they did all the time, and why? But he blends that into like him trying to figure out his own identity, his thoughts on grief and mental illness, and of course his family, and all these things that are kind of encapsulated in this moment of self-realization of his family is maybe a family that steals dogs. Maybe that's their thing.
That also sounds really interesting.
See, short films, gotta love them. Another one, Christopher Jason Bell did have a short film at Slamdance. It's called Trammel. I thought that this was really great as well. This is 11 minutes. The main character, Dale, kind of lives in a small town, very solitary life. Not a whole lot going on. The only thing he really has going for him is he has his conversations with the local pharmacist, Muhammad. They're pretty one-sided. It's more so just him standing and telling a shit ton of stories to Muhammad while he's trying to do his work. And Muhammad just, kind of chimes in here and there. I felt really connected to this one because I've been on that side of things in numerous of my employment. It's numerous places. Adam knows this, that I don't really talk that much.
No.
For some reason, people really like talking to me. So I've had a lot of cigarette breaks that play out like the short film Trammel. Just a long talking.
Maybe it's because if you're not talking, they think you're listening.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a decent listener, but there are times where I'm just like, I don't care.
Not today, motherfucker.
There's a guy that he's retired now. He doesn't work there anymore. But every cigarette break was just him telling me stories that I just did not care at all. And I just wanted him to leave me alone, and he never would.
He was your best friend, your best work friend.
Yeah, it's that one of the stories like, oh, this morning I took a shit in my yard. Like, why would you tell someone that? One, why would you do it? Two, why would you tell someone? And three, why would you tell me more details of that story?
I kind of want to know. I kind of want to know about this yard shitting situation now.
Oh, yeah, a lot of stories like that. So there you go. There's where my rapid fires.
All right. The only other one I'll mention is another warning. This is a movie called Shook, which is on Shudder right now. This is directed by Jennifer Harrington, and it's about an Instagram influencer who is dog sitting for her sister, and someone in the neighborhood has been like killing dogs. So she's like, so that's why her sister was like, just can you watch him while I go? Her sister's sick and she needs to go out of town for this treatment. And so anyway, she's pet sitting, and she ends up getting terrorized by someone who claims that they are like kidnapping her friends and like torturing them and forcing her to make these really tough decisions. And then they start going after her, and it just all kinds of twists and turns, and it's just a whole crazy situation that this person's in. And I really hated every minute of this movie. I didn't give two shits about a single person in this movie. None of them, I mean, like their sort of Instagram personas, like none of it felt real or authentic in any way. And it's just a shitty time all around. Like there's nothing really new or original here, and I didn't really enjoy a single minute of it. Also, there's a dog death in it. You don't see the dog getting killed, but you see pictures of the dead dog, and it's just don't even waste your time, as Ryan would say. So again, yeah, that's Shook. If you have Shudder, you can watch it on there. However, I would just not recommend it.
Okay, I have one more, and that was last night. As you know, I watched. What's it called again? Why Don't You Just Die?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, the Russian one.
Yeah, man, this was a lot of fun. I had fun with this guy. It was from reading about it and everything. I was like, okay, I kind of had it built up in my mind as what I was really hoping it to be, and it turned out to be pretty much that to a T, which is great. The only thing that I thought was kind of interesting to me that was different, it like on the Arrow streaming service, it was like, you know, with shades of Tarantino and this and that. But for me, like the main influence that I got is it felt like a Jeannot movie.
Yeah, you know,
Jeannot did like hyperviolence.
I can see that. I can definitely see that because there was this like weird visual charm to it.
Yeah.
Like a quirkiness. There was like a quirkiness to it.
Yeah, there's an extreme playfulness to the visuals that was juxtaposed with the horrible violence that's being inflicted on everyone. And there also had that kind of like greenish yellow to it that Jeannot movies had in the past. So, it just worked for me.
The apartment where it took place, it definitely had that kind of vibe to it. I can totally see that. I really enjoyed this movie too.
Yeah, it's a great time. And I like how it just kind of like kept unfolding. They kept adding like another wrinkle to it with it, you know, the introduction of characters and kind of giving you a backstory. And like how all of it's culminating together. This is really interesting. I really enjoyed it. Hell of a ride.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, it's a Russian film about a young guy who goes over to his girlfriend's house to meet her parents, and it just very quickly escalates to like completely ridiculous levels where the guy and the father end up basically trying to kill each other.
Yes.
And it's largely shot in one location, if I remember correctly. It's mostly inside the apartment, and it's just
very stylized.
Yeah, it just keeps escalating, and it's a really good time. And that's on the Arrow streaming service. I think it's just called Arrow, which is kind of confusing.
Yes.
But again, I would recommend that streaming service. That when it first launched, I didn't recommend it when it first launched because their lineup was not like great out of the box. Like I was kind of thinking like, oh man, they're gonna like add their whole library to this thing, and they might at some point, but it's kind of smart, like from a business perspective. Like they're kind of rolling it out month by month, so every month they're adding a few more of their catalog titles to it, along with some like new movies. And eventually I would imagine that their whole library will be on there, and also like I'm sure that there's like rights issues, like streaming rights compared to like home media rights and stuff like that, probably.
Yeah.
At any rate, their collection is growing, and it's to the point now, like when I saw what they were offering, I was like, okay, now's the time where I could go in on this and have it for at least a couple months. All right, let's talk about some VOD releases. On the first, we have Playing with Power, the Nintendo Story. That's on Crackle. So check it out on Crackle.
Crackle's still a thing.
That's still a thing. It's still around. There's somebody owns Crackle. I can't remember what company owns them. They have like a large parent company, I think, that keeps them alive. But at any
Chicken
rate,
Soup for the Soul Entertainment Incorporated.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, Chicken Soup for the Soul. That's the one.
Wow.
They release like movies too. I don't know if you've ever seen.
Yeah, there was something recently because I just recently learned of this being a thing.
Yeah, there's like they own several companies. Like they bought up several production companies and stuff. And you'll see like underneath the logo, like I can't remember the specific ones, but you'll see underneath the logo it'll say a Chicken Soup for the Soul company or whatever. So this is like a 5-part documentary series on the history of Nintendo. So you can check it out. Crackle's free, by the way, so you can watch that one for free. I think there's ads in it. Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell. This is on Netflix. This is the Notorious B.I.G. rock doc. Dementor comes out on the 2nd. This is directed by Chad Crawford Kinkle. This is his follow-up to Jugface. Almost a Jarhead. Jugface, which came out many years ago, but was a pretty solid lo-fi indie horror. And this one I talked about on the show a while back. I saw this at a festival last year and was a little bit disappointed with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some creepy stuff in it, but overall, I don't know. Just something about it rubbed me the wrong way. We also have The World to Come. That's a 19th century romance. We got Black Holes, The Edge of All We Know. That's a documentary about black holes. We have La Llorona. This is the one that came out on Shudder. So this is available on Shudder right now. It's a horror film that not the other one. There were 2 La Lloronas that came out. This is the good one, not the bad one.
Okay.
This is the one that was nominated for some Golden Globes.
Ooh.
So that'll be on VOD if you don't have Shudder. On March 4th, we have Lucky coming out on Shudder. This is the one that stars Brea Grant, and it's sort of a time loop movie in a way, but not really. It's basically the plot is that it's about a couple, and every night a killer comes to kill them in their sleep, and they have to kill this person every single night, and they come back every night without fail.
Huh.
So there's a little bit of a kind of time loop thing going on. I'm very interested in this. This is also written by Brea Grant. And yeah, this is one that I tried to see. They played a bunch of festivals, and I tried to catch it, but it always eluded me. So I'll be happy to check that out this week. On the 5th, we have The People versus Agent Orange. This is a virtual theatrical release. This is a documentary about the fact that they're still using Agent Orange as a pesticide, and people all over the country are getting sick and having all kinds of really bad problems, causing birth defects and stuff like that from it. Still using Agent Orange. That's still a thing.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Hey, we have Keep an Eye Out hitting virtual theaters, virtual cinemas.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, it's finally coming out in the US.
I don't like it already kind of did.
Did it?
Well, I mean, like it was on Mubi for a while.
Was it?
Yeah, like that's how we saw it. And that was like back in 2018. That's why I got so confused because I started getting emails for this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really threw me.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that's all about, but it's directed by Quentin Dupieux. Highly recommend it. Check it out if you missed it on whenever it was on Mubi or whatever that was. We have Night of the Kings. This is going to be this looks like it's just going to be a straight up VOD. Maybe I'm not sure. This is a Neon released movie. I think we have a review for this up on the site right now. Heard good things. We have Stray coming out. This is the documentary about stray dogs in, I think it's Turkey. Yeah, in Turkey. Also on the second, we have The Orphanage. This is part of I think it's like a 5-film series that this director is doing about the history of Afghanistan. And this one is like a coming-of-age story that takes place in the late 80s. It's kind of interesting. We have Undertow also on the second. Some kind of thriller. We got The War and Peace of Tim O'Brien. It's a documentary about the author, Tim O'Brien. We have World War II, The Long Road Home. This is based on a true story. It's a war movie. It's directed by a 16-year-old kid. It looks very low quality.
Huh.
Like, I give him props for being so young and directing a war movie, but yeah. We also have 1942 Unknown Battle coming out on the same day on the second. This is also a war movie, World War II. This is a Russian war movie. If you watch the trailer is dubbed in English, and it is maybe some of the worst dubbing I've heard in several years. It's so bad. The movie looks decent, but at least in the trailer, this dubbed trailer, oh my goodness, it's bad. We have The Curse of the Blind Dead. This is some kind of like action horror movie from the looks of it. The poster looks like they're totally ripping off Assassin's Creed, which is kind of funny. We also have Sophie Jones on the second. Oscilloscope is putting this out. This is a drama, a sort of a coming-of-age drama from the looks of it, about a teenager who is dealing with the loss of a parent. It looks pretty heavy. It looks good, but it looks pretty heavy. On the third, we have Moxie coming out on Netflix. This is a comedy directed by Amy Poehler. Sort of a teen comedy. Looks like, I don't know, could be good. Also on Netflix, on the 5th, we have Sentinel. This is a French film, action movie from the looks of it.
Okay.
The big one, Coming to America, coming out on Amazon Prime. That's on the 5th.
Oh, watch out. Watch out.
Yeah, I mean, we already know what we're covering next week. Also on the 5th, we have Boogie. This is produced by Eddie Wang. This is about a Chinese basketball player in New York. Looks like maybe it could be good. I don't know. That show, Fresh Off the Boat, really just kind of fell off. Did you ever watch that?
No.
It was good. Like the first maybe 2 seasons were really solid, and then something happened. Like he left the show, and I don't know, something got weird. Also, let's see. We have Lost Course. This is a virtual theatrical release as well. This is a documentary about a small village in China where there was some kind of corrupt election, and then the villagers sort of banded together and overthrew the elected officials or something. Looks like it could be good. We have Dreamcatcher. This is some kind of slasher movie that involves a character named DJ Dreamcatcher.
What?
Yeah.
DJ Dreamcatcher.
DJ Dreamcatcher. Can you imagine if... Oh, God. I really hope that there is no real life DJ Dreamcatcher, because that's the worst DJ name I've ever heard. We have The Devil Below. This is some kind of horror movie. Looks decent. Looks like a creature feature about a bunch of coal miners in Appalachia. And there's some kind of creature in the mines or something. We have The Affair. It's Czechoslovakia. It takes place in the 1930s in Czechoslovakia. We have Fukushima 50. This is about the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant disaster that happened in, what was that, 2011? I can't remember when that happened.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a dramatic retelling of that. When was it?
2011.
Okay, I was right. It was a complete guess, by the way. That's it for VOD. On Blu-ray this week, we have Monster Hunter coming out. That was the one, the Mila Jovovich, Paul W.S. Anderson one that actually, for some reason, released in theaters and nobody saw it because of COVID and also because it's bad. We have Cthulhu Mansion from 1992. Never heard of that, but I'll be looking into it. We got Satan's Blood from 1978. Dark Tower from 1989. She's the Man from 2006.
Wow.
Starring Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum. That's the 15th anniversary edition of She's the Man.
I wonder how many people are celebrating the 15th year anniversary of that movie.
We should.
Guess we could.
Do a bonus podcast that's all about She's the Man 15th anniversary.
No.
No. Let's see. We have Crazy Samurai 400 versus 1. I'm wondering if this is... I mean, this has to be... Yeah, it is. It is Crazy Samurai Musashi. They changed the name to Crazy Samurai 400 versus 1.
That is a... That's a bad idea.
Why would you not just keep the name Crazy Samurai Musashi? Like, that's a good title. But Crazy Samurai 400 versus 1 is garbage.
Yeah.
The Zappa documentary comes out. We have Scare Me coming out. That's the one that came out on Shudder last year. A lot of people liked it. Wasn't for me. Fatale comes out. That Pinocchio movie that just kind of slipped under the radar that came out last year is coming out. Liberté. Let's see. Half Brothers. 400 Bullets. After the Rain. Spelled REIGN. The War and Peace of Tim O'Brien. That's about it. What about Criterion's?
0.
No Criterion's. All right.
No Criterion's. Take a break, guys.
In that case, I think that'll do it. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulsenet and @filmpulsekevin. And if you have a minute, consider giving us a review on iTunes. We'd appreciate that very much. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.